Hi, there we are. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Mike Morales. You are listening and watching Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media on all of our channels. I'm here in San Antonio, in sultry San Antonio. That gentleman out there is
Matt Metris in moderate Rochester, New York.
moderate. Wow. So we're not sweltering like we are here.
It's supposed to hit 90 this weekend, though, so we'll take it.
Oh well, we've had several days at 90. With like 50% humidity. You know those days.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have
Uh,
one or two a year.
One or two. Oh, wow, geez, that's it's not even summertime. Oh, by the way, if you're quarantining in place, or you know, by the time you see this, it could be November or October. For us, it's right the day before Father's Day, and we're still quarantined in place. So it's day number 125. We're still prisoners.
March 112th.
Yeah, March 112. Um, anyway, the interesting thing is we're still drinking, social distance drinking. We invented it. So here we are. Uh, uh, Matt and I have a beautiful mezcal, brand new. I just picked mine up yesterday. It's called San Bartolo. And we know nothing about it. There's minimal information. However, um, uh, if you have a QR code reader, see that right there? Snap that QR code reader. That will take you to the CRM website, which is the Consejo Regulador de Mezcal. And it should give you more information. Yep, that's what it looks like. And that's all the information on this particular brand, which is so it's really cool. It even tells you where the brand is located, where the home palenque is now they're not all of these brands, they're not all as forthcoming with information. Some of them will give you more information than what's on the label. Some of them will give you less information than what's on the label. What's only required is what's the minimal information is required. For instance, this is considered artisanal, so it has to be made under the guidelines of artisanal mezcal. It is technically at 45 ABV, and we just broke the seal on this baby, and we're gonna pop this baby open. I'm gonna use my jarrito. Ooh, wow, that was a champagne cork pop, huh?
I got this nice fancy microphone here, Mike, so I get it right up
Oh,
close.
so you can just pop it right at the microphone. Yeah, I don't know where you get that budget from. Maybe because it's coming from your real job.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Because we have no budget here. I gotta yell into my camera. I gotta. In fact, if I yell too loudly, I'm in big trouble. We did get some really cool stickers from San Bartolo.
Yeah, we did. Sticker.
Yeah, it's a
And
nice
this
edition. And
leather bottle wrap.
yeah, it looks like and it's a hand. What do we call that? Hand burned?
Burned? Yeah, it's like
It's like charred. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's so you can see the holes in the leather where they emblazoned it. They branded it, literally branded it. And what
smells
that is,
fresh.
yeah, yeah. I wonder what kind of leather. Might be goat leather. I don't know. But it's soft and nappy, and what it is, it's literally you wrap your bottle in it, so it allows you to take it as a gift to someone, in a custom made wrap. And it's kind of too small for an apron. Yeah, see, and you kind of tie the ends at the back, and it's charming and rustic. I love it. I love it. It's
Mhm.
it's not pretentious. I poured some in my Estazo Jarrito,
Me too.
and Matt has his as well. Beautiful legs and tears. It's pristine. We off camera we kind of took a look at some of the information that was on the CRM website. It is um, fermented in wooden vats, and it is double distilled in copper pot stills. It is technically 44.9%, which makes it a 45 ABV, and it's Espadin. So, oh my God, what a
That's
nose! Isn't that
Mhm.
beautiful?
It is. Yeah, you get a lot of that heat that is familiar with the traditional mezcal. You get a lot of that espadín vegetation coming right through.
Yep. Not a lot of smoke, I have
No,
to say. That nose is beautiful. It
Hmm.
just comes right up to greet you. You don't even have to dig in. It's just right there. In fact, I as I poured it, you could smell it. I don't know when you popped it
Yeah,
on the.
me too. As we were holding up to the camera, I could smell it kind of wafting out of there too.
That's just gorgeous. When you have a spirit that is artisanally made and it comes up to greet you, and you go, like Matt and I have had enough of these together and apart that you just kind of, there's a certain type of reaction you expect when you pop one of these open. And I just received mine yesterday, so I hadn't even a chance to open the seal on it. And it's just beautiful. Wow. It's what I'm not sure is they're using a Taona for a shredder, or they can use one or the other. And I guess they're using all of them: the Taona, the shredder, the Egyptian or Chilean shredder, because those are both allowed under that artisanal category for mezcal. I'm ready to dive in. Are you?
Yeah,
Or
let's
is
do
this
it. Go for it.
okay? Let's just go in there. Mm, wow. Oh my. Beautiful legs and tears.
Hmm. It's almost segmented. Like I get the heat in the retronasal, but I get the
Yeah.
vegetation on my palate.
Yeah, it's kind of odd. It's almost like it's still releasing. It's still blooming.
Hmm.
It's like it's blooming in your tongue,
Yeah.
like as if your tongue were the vessel. It's I know it's odd, and it probably because it hasn't. I know yours has been sitting at room temp a lot longer than mine
Yeah.
because I just picked mine up yesterday afternoon, so it's been maybe 24 hours, a little bit longer at room temp. Not, I mean, it's always been at room temp, so it's not like it's been exposed to the sun or the heat, but it has been shipped and agitated, and wow. So there's a touch of smoke
Hmm.
on the palate, not a lot. I'm getting more. I'm getting more wet cement, more clay. Probably that's coming from the Taona.
Hmm.
Uh, for those of you who are not familiar with what a Taona does or what it is, it's a stone wheel. It weighs about a ton, maybe more. In tequila, sometimes that flavor that it imparts on the agave is not. Some people don't like the taste of the stone. They call it la piedra, and so they don't use those. They use shredders. In mezcal, because of the type of plant it is and the way it's cultivated, and because this is an artisanally made mezcal, it just adds an extra layer of character. So what I'm getting, I don't know if you're getting that, but I was getting a lot of wet cement, a lot
Hmm.
of rock, a lot of stone minerality. Sometimes we call it
Yeah.
that.
I get a little bit of sweetness, maybe some fruitiness on the edges too.
Hmm. It's a very sweet nose, but it's not. It wasn't floral, like you said. It was more vegetal, and I want to say it's kind of fruity.
Hmm.
Like there was some fruit involved, and even as you intake it, it's sweet on the intake. It's not a, the finish is nice. The finish is like medium to um, medium to long on the finish, but for a 45 ABV, I thought it would be a little bit more aggressive,
Yeah, me
but
too.
it's actually quite nice. Very, very elegant sipper. Um, wow. And then that the flavor kind of, it lingers on the palate,
Yeah, it really does. I was
but
just oh, go ahead.
I thought it was more of the wet cement. That's what I was getting at the beginning, and like you said, the retronasal, that first pass, it was like it was still blooming. So
Hmm.
so you got stuff on retronasal, and the palette was completely different. I don't even know how you segmented that.
I know. It was different. It was weird. I don't know. Uh, I was just looking to see if I could find a price point on it, and I don't see one on their website. But you can if you're in New York City, it looks like the only distribution's in New York City right now. You can text them directly, and they will deliver it to you.
Wow. Well, that explains why you got it in Rochester before I got it here.
Yeah, that's true.
Let me give you the ins and outs, okay? It is an artisanal mezcal. It's a Joven, so it's not aged. As you can see, it's just clear. Very simple look, very simple bottle. It's the mission. I would imagine that's the mission for San Bartolo. The Maestro Mezcalero is Valentin Martinez, which he is also listed in the CRM website. He's not only the master distiller, he is also he's a commercializer, so he's exporting it into the United States. He's doing it all. I don't know how he's doing it all. I don't get it. This is at San Bartolo, Yautepec in Oaxaca. It is under the denomination of origin, as you can see. It's got that. If it's officially got that holographic seal, it is within the denomination of origin. What does it say in the back, Matt? Because I haven't read what it says in the back there.
It says San Bartolo is a unique spirit from the San Bartolo Yucatec Valley in Oaxaca. It has a delicate herbal and fresh mineral notes with a particular clean smoke. San Bartolo Mezcal Artisanal is a Mexican spirit of yore, distilled by 4 generations of maestros mezcaleros. The creation of our mezcal has been made possible by the hard work and tradition of the people of the Yucatec Valley and Valentin Martinez Lopez, Maestro Mezcalero. Together with his grandson, they have made their dream of creating a sustainable mezcal brand that represents their village and their values come true. They do mention sustainability here, and there is a little bit on their website that for every agave plant that they harvest, they plant 2 more.
Wow. Well, more and more of the mezcal brands have seen, the mistakes that the tequila industry has made with over cultivation and, the demand for mezcals. So it's gratifying to know that, something like a brand like this. And if you're in the New York area, please do yourself a favor, pick one of these up. You don't have a price point at all in New York?
I don't have a price point at all, but they do say on their website, there's a phone number. It says text or email, and they'll deliver it same day for $10.
Wow. I would if I were you. If you're into mezcal, and a lot more and more consumers are, I think it's right. Let's just not, let's just go here. Brand of promise.
I lost my homemade.
You lost your homemade. This is gorgeous, and it is not off-putting. I'm going to say that it not only is it's a very elegant sipper. What I love is it's non-pretentious. It's coming from a small village. They're really, it is truly artisanally made, and there's so many layers to this. I would spend time with it. The smoke is minimal. I don't know how he got rid of that, because there's more. Like I say, I'm getting more of the wet cement, more of the plant, more of the sweetness. The intake is sweet, and there's a lingering flavor profile to me is the minerality. I think the water, if I'm not mistaken, the water that they're using is well water. I could be wrong. I think that's what I read on the website, on the CRM. My suggestion is, if you're really into mezcal, ladies and gentlemen, get yourself a really good QR code. They're usually free, a QR code reader. Keep it on your phone. And if you're shopping, or if you're at a hopefully bars are open by now, and they allow you to look at the bottles, snap that tag, and you read all about. They're pretty thorough, actually. I think the information on the label is fairly accurate. There's sometimes these CRM information is sometimes there's TMI. It's too much information. But I'd rather have too much than not enough. Absolutely. Because the requirement is only the minimal information. But it's it's always more gratifying for me as a consumer if I get more information and go, oh wow, it's from a small village. It's actually 44.9%. It's you know, copper distilled. Um, you know, use a Taona, whatever it is that turns you on. To me, I think, and I'm sure Matt, you agree with me that probably more information is better than not enough information.
Absolutely, definitely, and yeah, I always want to know. I mean, I'm an agave nerd, but I always want to know the production, and because those things are going to influence how the final product tastes. So it's important to be transparent about that.
Yeah, and right now there's there's a lot of controversy whether there's enough transparency in the mezcal industry. It's still literally in its infancy, but I think the step in the right direction is the QR codes. Although lately we're going to, and I think, as a matter of fact, Eric Zandona mentioned this in his profiles in agave spirits. I believe he's in book 7, I believe, book 6 or 7. That we're going to be seeing a lot more agave spirits coming from outside the denominational origin of mezcal and tequila. Don't be surprised; it's going to happen. A lot of these, you know, a lot of these people who've been making it for generations are just going to go, I'm not changing anything. I'm going to call it what it is. And if they bring it into the United States, you know, they now have a category that's called agave spirits. So they can. Some of them, you know, there's a very famous distillery, supposed tequila distillery that refuses to play with the rules, and it's a very much sought after brand. Here in Texas, we see it a lot. But you know, what can I say? I think I love this stuff, and it's
Yeah,
gorgeous, and it's a higher ABV, but it's beefy. Anyway, Brand of Promise nominee,
yeah,
San
definitely.
Bartolo. If you're in the New York area, please, please, please do yourself a favor, get yourself a bottle, okay, and pay whatever it needs you need to pay for it, because it really is very much worth it. You'll be doing the village a favor, and they, on the other hand, are doing, you know, sustainability so that they don't run out of products, so they can continue to bring us stuff like this that you get on Tequila Aficionado Media. That's our take on San Bartolo. I'm Mike Morales here in San Antonio. That gentleman out there is
Matt Metris in Rochester, New York.
You have been watching and listening to Sipping Off the Cuff on Tequila Aficionado Media. If you are listening to us on our podcast, go ahead, download it wherever you get your podcasts, like iTunes or Spotify. If you're watching us on on YouTube, subscribe, hit the red button there, hit the notification bell every time we upload a video with Matt on the cover. You'll be notified on your hot little cell phone. And whatever you do, man, tomar sabiamente.
Sip wisely.